Okay, and we're on. Welcome, welcome.
We have a couple more people swinging in through the waiting room. I'm so excited.
I know, I know, I know. How's everybody feeling?
Good, wonderful.
Launch camera. Practitioner Chantal.
Put your stuff back on.
Boys.
Can't come on screen, but my internet is down, so I'm using my phone. I
That's
feel
quite all right. So
wonky.
that is all right. We're happy to have you in the building. Can
Yes,
you all see our screen? Can you see our screen?
yes.
Okay. So
Hi, Dawn.
it says sacred relationships right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So we're good.
Just waiting for a few more people, right?
Yeah, so it looks like everyone's in. That was in the lobby. Okay.
We don't. Absolutely.
Okay. So we see, I'm scrolling through it and I see quite a few names, of course, that we know personally. So, oh, this is like adding to the excitement of doing all of this.
Yes. I know there'll be some more jumping on. Also, as we start, there'll be some more people jumping on as well.
Yeah, okay. So we have just let everyone in. Okay.
All right, well, we will start. I know there's going to be more people joining and jumping on, but we will start. First, let's say welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking time to join us today and kick off this new journey. I'm excited. I've been talking with the brothers leading up to this, and I know we're all excited to start this new journey collectively. So thank everybody for taking the time to come along this ride. I think it's going to be a lot of amazing, magical moments. I look forward to the dialogue between the masculinity and the femininity. I think that's going to bring a lot of great discussion. I know for those who don't know me, I am this beautiful queen's husband, James, and it's been a blessing and a journey to walk aside her as she has traveled through many years of different levels of who she is. And I got to see so many of them through the journey that it's been a blessing because it inspired me to go on my own journey as well, and unlock levels in me that I didn't even know I needed to be unlocked. And I'm sure as we go through these next journeys, there'll be more levels to unlock. I know for myself, I've spoken that leading up to this journey, a lot of things started showing up. Because when you're about to start great things, things show up. And it's not by coincidence, of course. It shows up so that we can see what things I still need to work on or what things the Most High wants me to look at and revisit. But I'll let my queen also introduce herself for those who don't know her personally as well.
Yeah, so I am Mrs. Poke, Tanasia Poke, and as James described, it's been quite a journey. I would say my whole life, James's whole life has been a journey, right? And I'm sure it's the same for you all as well. But there's just been so much meaning and impact that has spread throughout our journey in the last few years. And I'd be even willing to say maybe going back to even when the world was on pause, you know? And so we were already on some individual paths of just exploring who we are, exploring ourselves more deeply, and having the time to kind of sit with ourselves, like I'm sure many of you did too. You know, we were able to really start to get even more introspective with our curiosity about who we are, who we could have been, or who we would be, minus and in addition to so many different things. And so James and I both went on a rites of passage journey. So I went on mine first as a sacred woman, and that was led by Queen Afua, who is a holistic, world-renowned spiritual leader. And through that journey, it wasn't an easy one, right? And we'll talk more about it because it's going to be very similar to the experience that we're all going to share here too. But through that journey, I learned so much about myself. I learned about my inner child. I learned about my present self. I learned about who the higher version of myself, who she is, and what, what her thoughts are, what her core values are. And then I learned a lot about how introducing all those layers of myself was showing up in my relationships, specifically my sacred relationship with my husband, and then in all my relationships, friendships, sisterhood, family members, all of them. And along the journey, there's nothing that's been actually, it's not been perfect, right? But it's been intentional, and I've been a lot better at communicating my needs and being able to hear when others are communicating theirs. So that's what's brought us here. Through this journey, I've become an author, and the intention there is really just to share what it is I have learned, the gems that I've pulled from within with others, and also to I've also become an eco spiritualist as a life coach, which means I'm on a journey of connecting, our spirituality and our lifestyle with nature. And so that's the space that I'm in, and that's the space that I share. And I was scared for a little bit, y'all. I was frightened for a little bit because, when people say it's possible to grow apart, it is possible, right? But I'm so grateful that we've grown apart and then together and then more together and really enmeshed in a relationship that feels more strength and firmness than it has ever. And so James and I have been married now for 10 years. We've been together for 17 years, and we're a blended family. So we had, I had a son prior to our relationship. James had two sons prior to our relationship, and then we have our daughter together. But when we say blended, we are truly blended. They're all our babies.
Right, right.
So,
And I know for many people out there, as my queen talked about, the programs that we went through, and I have, absolutely some brothers on this call that I can't wait to share. It was such a journey to be able to go through a space where, because as men, it's very hard to find a space where you can be vulnerable and actually share and not feel judged, and feel the safety to be able to open up and also be able to have other brothers that can relate to what you've been through. Many men, we've all kind of been through, I like to say, emotional detachment as we were raised as young men, to not show feelings, not attach to feelings. What that becomes is adults who do not emotionally attach in the world, whether that's with your queen, your kids, just in life. But it was such an amazing journey to find brothers that was able to be open and be honest and transparent and sharing those safe spaces that I knew that, wow, I wasn't alone. I'm not the only one that went through this and felt this way. So when my queen talked about, having something like this where we could bring the brothers on and also the sisters to have a dialogue like that, it was, it blew my mind because I'm like, wow, if we can create a safe space for all of us to just have a conversation, um, and unlock again those levels inside of us. Because when we talk about the two people that are in relationships, whether that's a marriage, whether that's two people that are friends, whether that's co-workers, relationships are relationships. And as we grow, we forget sometimes that we never grew up completely from the inner child that had trauma, or we didn't know there was trauma there to ever heal that inner child. And that inner child shows up in many places, in many spaces. Like I said, it could be at work, it could be with other relationships. But this is a place where you can dive deeper into yourself, through the word of the books and conversation, and really find out more about yourself that you never even knew. So I'm excited for that.
I am too. I am too. So, in terms of our overview, right? Essentially, this is a journey, like James, spoke on. It's a journey of collaborating with both the masculine and the feminine energies, right? So that we can explore more deeply ourselves and then free ourselves from some of the traumas we may have experienced or even traumas we may have caused, right? And also shed layers of different conditioning, messaging, and get back to who we are in our rawest form, that innocent form prior to any of the painful experiences that we've had. But most importantly, the idea of this entire journey for the next 12 weeks is really about holding space for each other and learning how to do that. And so I know we see that there are some couples on, and then there are some singles, and we love the fact that there's a mix, right? Because we need to be able, as men and women of color, especially, right? We need to be able to hold space for each other, whether we're in romantic relationships or not. We're not, and as we start with our circle here, of course, it's a ripple effect, right? And then we impact all of the spheres of influence that you all have, and it just continues and grows in that way. So the idea is really for us to strengthen and fortify the bonds we all share as our group here, right? And then learn the tools we need to in order to expand on those bonds with others.
Yeah.
The added gem is that I am not gatekeeping. Okay. I want to say that when I started this journey down writing a book, it was something that literally the Most High planted in me. I'd never talked about being like an author or wanting to do anything like that. But through journaling and going through this rites of passage and just really deepening my understanding of myself, I learned so much about myself that I reshaped my story. And I know James shares that sentiment where you reshaped
Right.
your story. So one of the added gems on the end of this that I'd like to do for every one of you is that after we journal through our awareness and we flip those stories, right, from the story or the origin story we've been telling ourselves to reclaiming our true story, I want to help you publish them. I want to help you publish them. So that's going to be at the end, and I'm excited to do that. But yeah, we're going to be self-published at the end of this, right?
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I know we're about to kick off, and I know we introduced ourselves, but there's so many people in the chat that I don't personally know. Um, I would love if anybody feels up to introducing themselves and just maybe sharing a little bit about themselves so that we can kind of get to know everybody that's in the chat. Is anybody ready to
Salute. Salute, Brother Pope. Salute, Queen. Salute, everybody.
salute Brother Ruley? Salute.
Bless. This has been in high anticipation amongst our calls. Myself, Brother Pope, Brother Seven, Brother Carlos, Brother Keita, Brother P Black, and a bunch of other people. We went through formation number 5 of the Man Heal Thyself, Rites of Passage. And we've watched each other come in as timid, frail, 5'11", 6-foot tall boys. And then come into ourselves and accept who we were, and then to grow into the supermen that we are, that this new skin, this new armor that we're living in. It's just different. I'm different. I had a very long conversation with a sister this morning, my significant partner, and just the way that I just observed myself in the conversation. It shows like circles like these, circles like ours, the rites of passage is necessary for everybody to experience, for every man, every woman to experience, to see how it, to taste what it would be like to have lived in affirmation. What do I mean by that? There's this one page on Instagram. It's this Black sister. She does affirmations for Black men. She's strictly Black men. She's up to like 395. And I'm listening to the joint, and sometimes they touch my heart. And I say to myself, I wonder what existence would be like for me if every day, instead of whatever I was hearing, not to put down my parents or anybody else, I wonder what life would have been like to be constantly poured into like that every single day, every day, every day, every day. that's what this rites of passage has done. It allows you to go in retrospect to taste what freedom of pressure, freedom of low self-esteem, freedom from not knowing your identity, freedom from being a people pleaser. This is what the rites of passage has done. This is what the circles that we've continued, myself, Brother Pope, Brother Carlos, Brother Pete Wright, Brother Seven. This is what the circle has done for us, allowed us to live in freedom and release of pressure. So this call has been a high anticipation, and I'm looking out. I am putting the energy out. This is the part that I'm going to play in this. Number one, I'm never going to procrastinate. I'm never going to delay. So I'm always going to speak up first, and I don't mind stealing. I don't mind stealing your time if you don't. So I'm just warning all y'all right now. Yeah, this space right here is highly anticipated, and I'm the part that I'm vowing to this group is that we're going to continue to make a safe space, but you will learn me. We're going to look for something concrete. We're doing the book publishing. That's great because I got a lot of stuff that's written, but y'all going to learn.
Yeah.
I believe in concrete. I believe in concrete results. So it's Brother Ruley. Brother Ruley.
I say, Brother Ruley, thank you for that. And just really quick, let me just tell you, Brother Ruley, man, when we first started the formation together, Brother Ruley was so different than who he is today. I call Brother Ruley the pastor. As you can tell in the passion in his voice when he speaks, the way Brother breaks down words and passages and interprets it for us to understand is amazing. And it's amazing because in the first formation when we got together, Brother Ruley didn't speak up that much in the beginning, kind of sat back and observed. And you saw him come out of his shell as the space and the Most High just got in him and had him understand who he really was and some of his purposes in this world. And thank you for speaking up first, Brother Ruley. I appreciate that because it shows who you are, and I appreciate you very much.
Thank you for that, Brother
Thank you.
Ruley.
Thank you.
I think we saw also, was it Dave that came off mute? He's coming off. He's coming off. Oh, I think he had to drop to come back. Okay. Oh, no, he's here.
Can you hear me?
There you
There we go.
are.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brother Dave, blessings.
You would think after the world broke, we'd be used to Zooming, huh? What the? Yeah, so funny joke real quick. Yeah, I mentioned the story about Brother Ruley. A little bit about my personality. He was unruly before. You didn't put that together. That didn't. So Brother Ruley. So
But I'm fine.
I had to. I write songs.
Love it, Brother Dave. Love it.
So I'm happy to be here, man, because and I had to tell Jay on the low, and I tell Tanasia all the time, I tell him text, I love y'all so much, but I gotta turn y'all off. Y'all said that listen, and I'm being very serious. I watched y'all grow. You know what I'm saying? I helped y'all move, remember?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Big difference. And it's kind of like watching Brother Unruly's transformation. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching kingdom things happen right before our eyes. I'm watching the litter. I'm watching how the kids come and go through the different scenes on, I'm in North Carolina right now, so I'm not in front of it. But at the same time, I do social media. I get to enjoy my peoples, and I'm hella crazy inspired. And a lot of what is happening right now is along the paths of what I'm trying to accomplish. I've been fighting not fighting, but positioning my gifts, and it's all been culminating to ministry. And that's why, I've even come up with a different couple of ministries, such as Pulpit Streets, and the things that I've done while I was there in New York, and the things that I'm doing now in North Carolina. With a whole high focus on relationships, urban culture, and my center of gravity is, well, us as African American, Generation Xers, right? We're all in the same long tooth position, right? We look good, but we our knees hurt, right? When it's cold, yeah, that part. Yeah, no more flag football, James. You done messed
Right,
up
yeah, yeah. Days are
forever,
over.
ever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. I can barely walk up the steps, boy. But the concentration, and if I didn't say hi to everybody, how you doing, everybody? Very glad to be here. The concentration is on, the fix is in. And I'm a victim, but determined to not be a victim of uh politics, economics, and things like that that have been affecting our culture. And why can't I have a 50-year relationship like my grandparents? I want to talk about that all the time because, at the end of the day, we joke about stuff like being the old dude in the club. And now me being 52, and, I've got some stable stuff going on, but like it would have been nice to have, rolled off into the sunset. But we also have to remember that if we're not evenly yoked, all the praying, the fasting, there has to be a meeting in the middle, and it has to be ordained. It has to be blessed. But not only that, if you don't put 90, 92 or 97, whatever, in your Mercedes, guess what's going to happen?
Mm.
Everybody want to ride that Benz, but nobody want to spend them ends. You know what I'm saying? How much a Mercedes or BMW tune-up costs? Like $2,000, something crazy, right? Yeah, now it gets real. So one of the last things I learned in my marriage when I was married was that marriage isn't just about the union and the love. The love is cool, right? It becomes more the union, especially when children and responsibilities and things come into play. And I believe that we have not been taught that way. I believe it's part of the generation curse. And then just the tools, the readily available tools. Like, you can go to your job and get 6 weeks of free consultation, but then what do you do after that? Because your benefits only got to pay for 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? And then so you got to find a group like this if you're lucky enough. Or, you know what I'm saying, you got to make the right moves or you got to break some eggs. But, it's just good to be, and I'll wrap it up here, just good to be in a space where it's open forum. We can talk about things because, I don't think there's no bad ideas. I think the bad idea is not to present all of the ideas.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Be
Absolutely.
Well's in the building. What's up, y'all?
Thank you, Brother Dave. Thank you. I appreciate you. And you said something
Yeah.
very profound. The key thing is the tools.
Right.
A lot of times we wasn't taught those tools. We didn't have those tools when we was growing up. It's not something that, unfortunately, sometimes our parents was not aware of the tools needed as well. And instead, we were taught wrong habits
Yep.
that we took on. So that's another thing that I loved about this journey that we went through. It teaches you a lot of tools, and we're gonna definitely go through that journey again. And I can't wait to see the tools that show up this time for us to use in life. So I appreciate you, Brother Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me be here. Appreciate it.
My sister Chantel is on, and we're gonna ask her to unmute.
Greetings. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sis.
All right. Greetings, everyone. I am so thankful for this space. I am Sacred Woman Practitioner, Chantel Sierta Shakim. I'll share real quick if you can see me here. I am so wonderfully thankful for this space and for you and James putting this together. I also ascended with Tanasia in the rites of passage, and then we also went on for our practitioner. And it has been a journey. It is so amazing to see the growth and to see just how this work really works when you work it. And just being able to hold the workshop with you and James was just a beautiful experience for me. And just to see the divine masculine and divine feminine, you guys have truly been spearheading this work. And I salute you for that. I'm anxious to see what this community will bring forth. I like the idea of the published people. That whole book charge that Queen gave us in our rites of passage, you took it on and ran with it, sis. And that also inspired me, especially with this past year and all of the things that I've experienced. I've really sat down. It's funny you would say that because I sat down and I created this idea of a book that I wanted to write, and I'm still kind of going back and forth with how it's going to look. So I am taking all these life experiences, and like the brother had spoke on, being almost 50 myself, it's like, whoa, this life journey, wow, to see who I was and where I've come from, and just the platforms that have been made available to me to speak into the lives of other women through experiences and through just being who I am, right? Being and embracing all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but knowing that it's all sacred, right? It's all part of what makes me who I am today. So I'm so thankful for divine partnership and the inspiration that you guys bring in seeing you guys and seeing your relationship and desiring similarities in my life, being married, being divorced, as Queen would call it, transitions, going through those changes and transitions, which, I mean, it's all purposeful. So being able to have this dialogue with other kings and queens, and just seeing what that looks like for me personally, and being able to contribute into the circle as much as possible. And I'm thankful.
Oh, we are thankful for you, sis. Thank you for being here
Yes,
in
yes,
this space.
yes.
It's been a joy to journey alongside you.
Yes.
And we have up next my pud, Tasha.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Bud. I am so excited. I'm excited for this. I love you and James to pieces. Y'all already know that. It's funny because I pulled out my book, and so my name is Tasha. I'm a life coach. I'm an author, podcaster, and I pulled out the book. I write the date in it, and the date is 9/20/2022. So I bought the book a while ago, and I'm a huge believer in alignment. I dabbled in it a little bit, but to have it now, and this is the time, I believe that this is the perfect time for me. I'm super excited about the book publishing, because a lot of people have been asking me, when's the next book coming? And I'm like, I'm not going to put it out because they're asking. I'm waiting for God to tell me when to put it out. So maybe this is that moment. I don't know, but I am so blessed and so happy to be here. This is new for me. I'm a woman coach, so I'm always around women. So to have this co-ed space, I think is important and necessary. So I'm just looking to learn and, just to grow. So thanks.
Love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Tasha, for sharing that. And it's interesting, right? Like you brought up the point about, we're always in these spaces where women are kind of going it alone, right? We're figuring things out, through our sisterhood, which is great. But when it's time to practice, right, what we're learning, what we're exploring, what we're discovering about ourselves with the masculine and our partners, that's where the challenge, is. And having this kind of collaborative, space is exactly, we're looking for this to be the solution for us to get our practice right here in a safe space with people who we know are going to show up and be honest about what they're feeling. So thank you for that. All right. So we are going to go on. So in terms of setting the intentions, so our intention is to build a community, right, in balance with both the masculine and feminine energies. And we aspire to end generational trauma. And Dave spoke to that, right? We want to end generational trauma in our communities through healing and through growth. I mean, I feel we have seen that definitely in our own relationships, and we're not going to be holding back anything. So, you can definitely ask and we will be telling, but from childhood to now, we both have experienced our own layers of traumas, and it shows up in the way we present who we are, and then it also would show up in the way we hold space for each other. So, yeah, we've seen in the last, man, I would say in the last couple of years, especially, a ton of growth. And so we know it's possible, right? Like we know it's possible. So we want to show up and be here in the space to share what we've learned, and really not to create any cookie cutter molds from what we've done, but just to help you to create the guardrails of your own experience and your own journey, and share that. So we have also a hand up from, is that Noir God? Did I pronounce that correctly?
Brother
Yes,
P,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Salute,
salute,
salute.
salute.
I'm Paris. Pleasure to meet y'all. Brother Poke, Mrs. Poke, thank you for creating this space for us. I'm excited for this journey. I'm excited for what I'm gonna get out of it, and all of us, and the union we're gonna build together. So to keep it short, peace and blessings. Pleasure.
Blessings,
Oh,
blessings,
appreciate
Brother
you
P.
being here.
We
Thank you for that.
appreciate you, man.
Yeah. And feel free as we move along, if you feel, if spirit pushes you, nudges you to share or open up at any point to introduce yourself, just give us the hand, and we'll pause right where we are.
Yeah, and I know it's everybody's kind of, just learning each other. So I know it's a new space, but I'm excited for as time goes on, where
Mhm.
everybody will start to learn each other. Because
Mhm.
Brother P, I love your intro. I love how you came on, and blessings to you. The thing I love about Brother P is his honesty, and he gives it to you raw. Just what the whatever is on his mind, he's gonna tell you, and I respect that. I love a person that is honest and direct about how they're feeling, what they're seeing. If they have questions or whatever it is, I love that about Brother P. So I can't wait for Brother P to have those moments to ask questions, and really put his stamp on things. So I appreciate you, Brother P, for speaking up.
Thank you. And we're just hopping over into the chat, and we see there's a ton of shout outs over there. So we have Aya Tashe, blessings. That says greetings. Thank you. We have Megan, my sis Megan out there, says hello all. Andre and Shah are here saying hello. We've got the Bryants, Warren and Letitia in the building saying they're feeling awesome. Oh, they call us their fucking favorites. Love y'all. Tosh, who we heard from. We've got Jude and Alicia here. Looks like they are working on their audio, but they're in the building, right? They are in the building. We of course heard from my beautiful sister Chantel, and some sentiments here. Some more dropping in. AJ's in the building. Amadi, how are you? Thanks for being here. This is exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
This is exciting. Okay, so we're gonna keep pushing. So our affirmation is actually here on the screen, and you can feel free to unmic in order to, unmute yourselves in order to speak it out loud, or you can remain on mute and speak it yourself in the comfort of the space. But before we give the affirmation, I know a lot of us know what it is and why we do it, but just to give a quick overview of how we use it, is that an affirmation is so much more than just the words, right? It's about embodiment. It's about really finding the words that truly speak to and speak for the voice of our true self, so that when we affirm what we want, right, that we can actually effectively attract it into our life. So whatever it is we want, we can effectively attract it in if we have two things: the belief that it is possible, and we actually speak it. And we actually speak it. So that's how we use affirmations. And they're always crafted in a way where it's a positive affirming statement. So we don't say things like I will not, right? That would be different. That's a different, I know in some spaces it's a commandment even, right? But for an affirmation, it's all about being in the positive tense of what it is we're speaking. So our affirmation for today is, I
I
am
am
open
open
to
to
the
the
wisdom
wisdom
within
within
me.
me.
I
I
embrace
embrace
the
the
path
path
of
of self-discovery.
self-discovery.
I
I am
am
ready
ready
to
to strengthen
strengthen
my
my bonds
bonds
with
with others.
others.
Together,
Together, we
we
embark
embark
on
on
this
this
journey.
sacred journey.
It's always great to keep it simple, straightforward, so that when we put the frequency out there, it's clear with no interruption, right? So it's essentially exactly what we want to do. We want to deepen our understanding or understanding of ourselves, and then strengthen our bonds between us. That's our affirmation. And then there's our commitment, right? So realizing we all have busy lives, right? And realizing, I mean, even James and myself too, right? But we want to commit to doing this work. And the way that looks, right, is that you do your best, right? Barring, of course, emergencies and other urgent, personal things you have going on, but you do your best to just remain in the circle. So this is what we are calling this the circle. What we've created here, all the folks that are on this call, we are a circle. And when one or two of us is missing, there are ideas and insights that are missing, right? Because none of us are the same. And I wrote it down because Brother Dave said this, and I thought it was really profound. He said, "Bad ideas are those that are not presented ideas, basically, right?" So we miss opportunities. We miss you. We don't just miss the essence of you. We miss you. We miss the peace that you bring to the collective if you're not here. But we know that life has to life, right? So there will be, and we'll talk about, further on, there'll be other containers that we'll have too in terms of our chat. So you can drop an audio note, you can, drop a text in there, but we just want the commitment to be that we stay connected, and with grace, right? Things come up.
Yeah, and I'll just say, commitment it's not always easy. Like my queen said, life is life, right? It happens, and not every call or every day that we get together, you may not be able to be there in every single one, but to stay connected is the key thing. I know in our circle with the brothers, it was something that we went through that we talked about a lot. I know the connection that I have with the brothers, and when I didn't, always stay committed to speaking with the group consistently and on a regular basis, I felt lost. I felt not connected the way I should be. And being back within their energy, and sharing with the brothers as we did, it's something that I needed. It's something that I missed. And it's something that I saw had a direct um, impact on how I lived my life, because I needed that shared space to talk with my brothers, to feel their energy. So we're hoping to also create that here as well, with a collective group of men and women, kings and queens.
That's right. That's right. We're here to support each other. And there are amazing people on this call. There are amazing people with you wouldn't even believe the experiences and the things that they're doing in life.
Right,
So
right. That's why I'm so excited. I cannot wait for everybody to start sharing and really get into it, because there's so much amazing, gifted, blessed people, kings and queens on this call, that I'm just like, I can't wait to hear y'all speak and just dive into things. Like, I'm just so excited about that.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, right? So for folks who are kind of like, well, I want to be present and I don't know how much I want to speak. I'll be honest with you, right? When I was going through rites of passage, and any of my sisters who shared that experience with me, and I know Chantal was one of them, right? I wasn't as vocal in the beginning, but I was present. I was always present. I was always in the space, and I was always reflecting, always reflecting. And as I began to heal, then the layers of shame and doubt and limits and lack and anything else that prevented me from sharing my truth started to kind of shed. And then I did find the emotional safety that I needed in order to speak up. So there's no rush to your process, but be present, right? Because even before you are willing to share your voice, share your spirit and be in the space so that you can receive. So that's how we're defining commitment. No hard guardrails, all things in grace. So in terms of the structure, there will be 2 separate weekly breakout groups. And so there'll be the breakout group for the men, and then there'll be a separate group for the women. And in the men's group, you'll be going through book study of Man Heal Thyself. So if you haven't picked up the book yet, you want to pick up your book. And then for the women's group, we are going to be in lockstep, also going through Sacred Woman, which is the book by, holistically well-renowned Queen Afua, and my mentor, right, and who's also taught myself and some of my other sisters how to hold space, right, as practitioners, and specifically around the guidance in Sacred Woman. So we're going to be doing those separate, but then there'll be a weekly call where we come together in collaboration. So everyone on this along this journey is going to have 2 calls a week. There'll be the one call with your group, your study group, right? The men's group, the women's group, and then there'll be one call where we're all together, like we are today. So the call where we're all together will be 3 p.m. on Sundays. That's this time period here. But then the 2 breakout, we want to get your preferences. So we are going to drop a poll into our group chat so that, we can see the time that works best. I know in the men's space, there's already a great idea of, what that time frame will be, but we want to make sure we can be an inclusive space. So before we go further on this, right, because there's a lot that we know and there's a lot that we're seeking, and then there's a lot that we don't necessarily know at all about what to expect with Man Heal Thyself or with Sacred Woman. But one of the things that I thought I needed my own clarification on when I was going along rites of passage, and I wanted to make sure we were intentional about sharing with you, is the difference between spirituality and religion. And the reason that we're sharing this, right, is because this is not intended to be a religious experience, but it is a spiritual experience, and it's an experience of personal development. So to just help us in really the simplest terms possible, understand the difference between spirituality and religion. Spirituality is your personal connection to the divine. So whatever that collection of energy is that you may not be able to necessarily see, but you feel and you connect with and you honor, that is spirituality, right? That's that co-creating relationship that you have with the divine energy. And then there is religion, where all of us on this call can have various different religions that we subscribe to. And a religion is a very specific and organized belief system. And so we're going to bring, of course, right, all of who we are into this space. And we invite you to do the same. But there is definitely an assortment of different religious belief systems that are in the space today, and we are excited about that. But what we're looking to really be intentional about building community around is just the spirituality piece of it. And that's really our personal connection to the divine. So in addition to that, in the Sacred Woman text, and I don't know, and babe, you can speak to for Man Heal Thyself, but in the Sacred Woman text, there will be some pages where you'll read about materials, tools, colors. There's different items that are referenced that are intended to be spiritual guidance, not religion, not religious guidance, but spiritual guidance. And a lot of it, honestly, is based on even some scientific belief, right? Where if you've ever smelled a certain essential oil and it puts you in a calm state, things like that, right? So there'll be some tools that you'll read about, and what we want is for you to find what really feels like the best fit for you. So there's no cookie cutter, like we said again, right? The idea is, if it says to light a candle and that speaks to your spirit, then so be it. If it says to light a candle and it doesn't, you do what you're feeling moved to do between you and your own personal connection. But are there tools like that also in
Yes,
Man Heal
yeah.
Thyself?
And yeah, it's the same thing. And the brothers know, like, there's definitely, different tools and colors or different things to put you in a certain mood or depending on what you're going through. So when we get to the book and we start going through that as our separate breakout group, we'll definitely get into some of that throughout the book.
Okay. Are there any questions about any of that before we move beyond it? Okay. All right. So in terms of the communication, so we talked about the fact that there'll be the joint group chat. The group chat is 24/7, right? So that is our space to really hold space for each other anytime, any day. I will say, right, if you become distracted by the group chat, you know yourself. So there are features in there if you wanted to mute it during certain times or not mute it during others. But we really want that space to be a space where the moment you feel called to share something, you can actually do it. It doesn't have to wait until your group call or our community call. So that's what those group chats will be about. In addition to speaking time, we have a lot of wisdom, throughout this whole group, and we want everyone to be able to share who wishes to share. So just being mindful, like we're doing today. If we see that there are multiple hands that have gone up that would like to speak to something, just being mindful of the fact that we want to get to our question or our point in enough time that we leave some space for others to speak to their thoughts as well. And then continuing discussions. So we didn't want this to be so organized, right? That we couldn't pivot when spirit shows up and tells us we should.
Right.
So in this bottom section, you'll see where it says continuing discussions. So if someone brings up a topic and they're sharing a thought, and it's something you want to expand on, you feel like, that's a conversation we should dive deeper into, we just want you to type build into the chat. You would literally type just build into the chat. And as we see those build comments that come in, we know that whatever else we thought we had planned, right? Spirit has showed up and we're going to go down that path. And so we're going to allow ourselves that grace and flexibility to do that. Okay. So at this time, actually, what we would do is we're going to open it up. We still have some folks rolling in, and I'm excited about that too. I'm like, it's growing and growing.
Right.
So the other thing is, don't worry, right? If you didn't join at the very start of the call, it's okay because we're recording it. And we'll store this recording so that it can be shared with only our group. So it would not be shared abroad with any other groups. Okay, and Brother P has a question. Okay.
Recently, well, first, we all here because of Queen, why am I lost? Queen Afua. Right. She made it so possible. And recently her mother has passed and she transitioned. So I just want to hold a second of space just for her and, give honor to the deceased, okay?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that, Brother P.
Right. All right, so it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Okay. So at this point, we are willing to open it up to any questions you might have about the experience, about James and I, things in general as it relates to this. So feel free to raise your hand so that way we can see you as we're sharing our screen and then unmute.
Or for anybody that didn't join in the beginning, that just came in, I know we did introduce ourselves. If anybody wants to introduce themselves that was not here in the beginning, please raise your hand, come on and just let your frequency be heard.
Yeah, come on, beautiful people. I don't see no faces. I don't hear no voices. Like, come on, like we gotta get it going, baby. Let's go.
Jack Gracious is on.
Right.
Greetings, everyone. I am going to tell you all something that I learned before I introduce myself. I'm an illuminator, so I'm always going to teach you all something when I speak.
We love it. We love it.
I went to a professional agriculture workers conference in the fall last year. And one of the keynote speakers said, instead of asking people what they do, ask people, who are you? And when I do hear a lot of people explain who they are, they talk about what they do. And I know that what we do reflects who we are, but I just want to inspire people to meditate on that question more often instead of starting off saying, I would be like, I'm a comedic yoga instructor and a farmer and an animal scientist. But now that I have been meditating on who I am, I say things like, I'm a devout supporter of humankind. I'm a bringer of spiritual awareness. I am a illuminator, and I'm here to illuminate your mind. I'm a nurturer, and my goal is to nurture you while you are in my presence, so when you leave you feel loved and supported. And I will say things like, I'm a beacon of wisdom, and the goal is to always shine brightly no matter who feels insecure or inadequate, because the goal is to shine so that you can help them evolve and become the light that they're destined to be, maybe not in this lifetime, but in the future. And I love to just inspire people, because there aren't that many people in the world nowadays that have the capability of inspiring people to devote themselves to their evolution. And it's an honor and a privilege to be in this space. I already feel loved, welcomed, and reflected by everyone. And I know that this is an opportunity to expand my awareness and my consciousness. And I am single, and it's also a divine opportunity to learn how to unite the feminine and masculine essence within me. Because, in my opinion, before you can unite with a significant other, you have to focus on the inner union, and then the divine union will manifest. So I'll drop the mic there.
Yes.
And thank you.
Wow. 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 You know what?
Bring it, Jack.
You have illuminated and illuminated, you have inspired and illuminated all through this circle right now. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for letting us hear your frequency.
Just beautiful.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, there's so
I'm
it's
telling
so
him,
much.
wait till these
I
mics
can't
go
wait.
off.
I
Look,
cannot wait. The energy in here is gonna be crazy.
unmuted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I have Felicia now.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that, Jack. Always so divine. And my sis, Felicia, feel free to unmute. B, can you hear us, Felicia? I don't know if she can hear.
I can. I'm so sorry.
Okay, here you are. You're good.
It was a operator error.
Okay.
OE. So I too am excited to be here. So thank you both. You came in, Sacred Woman Felisa Acock Blair, and the way you pronounce my name is actually like with an S, Felisa, not Felicia.
Okay.
And it took me a long time to tell people the truth about how to actually pronounce my name. So that's been a part of my healing. So it's Felisa.
Okay.
And again, I'm so glad to be here. My son ascended in July of 2023. So you may know him. Some of you may know him. You wellness warriors, Eric Blair Jr.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and our whole family was there in Atlanta. So very, very blessed. Um, I wanted to just express that I'm the chosen one. I didn't want to be it. Um, but breaking the generational curses is on me and on my spirit. I've been on a healing journey for a long time. I was 13 when my mom died. And she was super morbidly obese. And there's obesity on both sides. So my commitment to my children and to God when He gave them to me was to give them right back to Him in a healthy, um, vibrant way. And so far, so good. One of the things I wanted to express is that I did go to Africa with Queen Esther last year.
Wow.
And it taught me so much and it validated so much. A lot of times you don't know why you're doing certain things and why things occur to you, but I've had a sensitivity to the plight of our people and our Black men for a really long time. I've been married for a long time. I'm not sure if it's too late to save my relationship, but I am committed to learning as much as I can. I ascended and asked sacred relationships, but it was the relationship with myself that I really needed to work on. And I'll say this about my visit to Africa. I think that if people knew, if our men knew the diabolical nature of the systems that were put in place in slavery to pit us against each other, to keep us permanently in the underclass, and to just the way it was by design, and that some of those same systems still exist today. I think we wouldn't be so quick to, first of all, we would know ourselves, right? That's what Queen wrote about, heal thyself, know thyself. But I really would like for this group, if it's possible, to dive deeper into helping us to understand how we got to some of the difficulties in our relationships and how, you know, they want us to be against each other. They want
Yeah.
us to be against each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that makes sense, but it just is
Oh,
resonating
it
with
It
me
makes
does.
sense.
so deeply. And I'm I really want to be, I am the change agent, but I want to be more so. And so I'm looking forward to learning. I'm looking forward to, sharing some of the mistakes that I made in my relationship. Meaning well, but the road to where is what.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
so thank you for allowing me the time to introduce myself and the opportunity to grow through this 12-week program. So I'm complete.
Thank
Well,
you for
Thank
being
you.
here. Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
that,
Thank
sister.
you.
Thank you.
Yes. And I wrote down the proper pronunciation too, because I'm gonna make sure I get it
Right,
right.
me too.
Wait, let me tell you, with a name like Tanasia, trust.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I know how that I
I
do. So
appreciate it.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
that.
much.
And thank you for that beautiful share.
Thank you for that, man.
When you were
Thanks.
speaking, there's actually a book, and I don't know, spirit is just showing up, right? So James and I, in full transparency, the Most High has moved us to do this without really, we have no guidance just yet that we've received, right?
Oh,
As to what's
mhm.
next, right? But it's just amazing how things can kind of spark in the moment,
Mhm.
because there's a book that I read by Resma, and
Mhm.
it's called My Grandmother's Hands, and it speaks to
Mm,
exactly what you're referring to.
yes,
Like it
yes.
does. And it talks I mean, it really goes into a deep dive. There's a ton of
Mhm.
research and findings to support just how detailed, it was, creating this container of
Mhm.
oppression,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
how, and then he also, as an author, he and a researcher, he draws the line between those experiences and how they live in our DNA and show up in us today through those
Yes. Yes.
traumatic
Mhm.
experiences, right? And so I'm just thinking, I mean, if this is a book study, it's a book study. Who knows? That might be the next one that we study,
Right.
because it speaks to exactly what you're talking about, and we'll see how we can actually fold some of that into this. So thank you for that. That was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and
Thank
just
you.
as you spoke, and the things you said, something that stuck out for me was just how it's designed, to set it up where they don't want us to win. They don't want us
No.
to come together as kings and queens and really understand
No.
our purpose and who we're supposed to be. Even
Mhm.
in the Man Healed Thyself book, something and it stuck out to me because um, even in the book, and we'll get to this, brothers, as well when we start reading, but even in the book, some of the first things that it says, Like man, heal thyself, wellness warrior. It's the perfect affirmation for the closing of the cycle of patriarchal rule and toxic male dominance, right? It's something that I read and had to look up to understand the meaning behind that, and understanding that we were set up with this toxic dominance as men,
Yes. Yes.
right? And not understanding, if we went back and understood, something else I read was Osara's 14 pieces that were scattered across the planet. And what I didn't understand was only a sacred womb man was the person that was able to amend.
Womb man,
Womb
as
man,
in a
right?
woman.
Right? Was able to come and amend the severed pieces to reconnect it. And it sat with me because it's like, wow, we go on this toxic dominant, not realizing that the womb man is the
Oof.
a holder of space to but it's okay, because something like this is what reconnects us. And I thank you so much for your sharing and your words, because it hit me immediately. And I hope that's something more that we're going to get into, because I think we're going to learn a lot about the design of what was done to us. So thank you for that.
And yeah, absolutely. And we can't go to the oppressors to be delivered from oppression. So circles like this and opportunities like these are what's going to allow us to ascend beyond, you know, and to the next level. So
It's so true. It's so true.
Yes, thank you.
Ooh,
You're
Sister
welcome.
Lisa, thank you for that, because you just unlocked the portal, right? So that was a great share too. And I just wanted to add, because this thought just dropped into my spirit, right? About the essence of community, right? And how it relates to relationships. There's a lot of messaging that we've all heard, right? Whether we subscribe to it or not, around how maybe the best relationships are those that are private, right? The best relationships are those where no one knows what's going on outside of, the container of that relationship, whether it's the home or wherever. And as Indigenous people, there's a lot of research materials out there to prove that that is not how we are designed. We are designed to be in community, and we are designed to help each other, so that no one of us has to be the expert in all things, including our relationships. And very often the relationships that that don't necessarily make it across, I guess, the line that they intended. I guess part of the reason that can happen is because they just disconnected themselves from community that may be able to offer up their insights, offer up their wisdom, offer up their nurturing, offer up just their thoughts and love in order to help them through, And then the other side of that is, when we're in a community where we really know what's going on with those who are in relationships around us, then we can easily assume that things are as they seem, right? So if we can see things like pictures and video and social media or whatever, we get an idea that that's what a relationship looks like, when in actuality, what should it look like? It really doesn't look like anything. You can't see a relationship through pictures and video and media that's shared. So we have to be in a space where we feel the emotional safety among each other to share what we're going through, so someone else can say, you're not alone.
Right.
You're not the only one. Your relationship isn't failing because it's in a space right now of a season that feels painful, or a season of transition, or a season of growth, or someone's on a growth journey and maybe they're ahead of the other. Your relationship doesn't have to be in a failure mode because of that. And when you're open to true community, and people can share openly what they've experienced too, then we can hold space for each other.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know even for James and I, we've always had friends. We have our couple friends, right? Some of them are on this call right now. And we're probably the couple that would share, maybe even a lot of times the most. We might overshare it sometimes, right? But it was healing for us when we shared, because we were able to gain insights from people who have been there. Because sometimes when you're going through something, you really feel like you're on an island alone, and you feel like, nope, this is not how it is, quote unquote, supposed to be, you know? So
Right.
being in community helps us to take down some of those barriers around our thoughts of what
Right.
things are supposed to look like. There is no cookie
Right.
cutter.
Right.
So we've got some hands going up. Jah Gracious.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to speak again.
Come
I
with it.
thought about a couple of things. A farmer taught me this, that there's no such thing as a mistake. Everything is just a educational learning experience and a growth promoting opportunity. And I also wanted to add that one of the things that I've realized and observed is that our people, some of them have become the oppressor. So it's not just,
Hey,
Europeans or Caucasians.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to add that. So we have to use our discernment when we are being led and learning from certain people. And then there's this book, I haven't bought it yet. I believe it's called The Spirit of Intimacy.
Yes, that's our
And
favorite, Jah. We love that book.
of course you do. You are exuding the spirit of intimacy. And it talked about the embrace of community. And so I just wanted to read that so that the people that haven't read the book can
Yes,
understand, yes, this concept. So it says, community is the spirit, the guiding light of the tribe, whereby people come together in order to fulfill a specific purpose, to help others fulfill their purpose, and to take care of one another. The goal of the community is to make sure that each member of the community is heard and is properly given the gifts he has brought to this world. Without this giving, the community dies. And without the community, the individual is left without a place where he can contribute. The community is the grounding place where people come and share their gifts and receive from others. And when you don't have community, you are not listened to. You don't have a place you can go to and feel that you really belong. You don't have people to affirm who you are and to support you in bringing forward your gifts. This disempowers the psyche, making you vulnerable to come. I always have a hard time saying that word. Submersive. I need to look that up. And all the things that come along with it. Also, it leaves many people who have wonderful contributions to make, holding back their gifts, not knowing where to put them. And without the unloading of our gifts, we experience a blockage inside, which affects us spiritually, mentally, and physically in many different ways. We are left without a home to go when we need to be seen.
Jah, thank you for that passage and spirit of intimacy. And it just really encapsulates exactly what we were just describing, right? And it's so fitting, right? And here again, here's yet another sign, right? Spirit moving here of yet another book that James and I absolutely love. Like, we've read that book together more than once. And for anyone who hasn't read it, it's a quick read too. It's a quick read. It's a quick read. And yes, the shaping and the description of how they characterize what it means to be community and what it means to be of service, right? And a giver in a community, and how neither exist without each other. Right on time with that, Jah. You were right on time with that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And the name of that book is Spirit of Intimacy. So it looks like our book study list is growing, y'all.
Right.
So I think, and you know what's so interesting? Because as we're discussing this is kind of the order that we actually experience these books, right? Like we experience Man Heal Thyself and Sacred Woman before My Grandmother's Hands, before Spirit of Intimacy. So I really think that we're starting in the right place to get that level of consciousness that we need in order to be able to absorb these next, materials, these resources, we're going to call them. So thank you so much for that, because that was right on time.
Oh, right. That was right on time, because it's the amazing thing was I was thinking about that book a little bit before she said it. In my head, I'm thinking like, oh, about the book. And I had actually mentioned that book to the brothers, but I didn't mention the name of it. But after we read it,
Yeah.
I was, highlighting certain things about it, because it hit home about community, about what, we're trying to build, even as a brotherhood, as a sisterhood, and then coming together. And the things that she spoke, it's so important. Like, without community, we die. And without us doing it, the community dies. Like it's something that if you just sit back and think about just that concept of it alone, this is the reason why we have not been able to grow to where we need to be. Is our community was pulled apart. It's something that was forced and designed for us not to be that way. So I'm glad that you mentioned that book, because it's very important.
And yes, sis, in the chat, those are the names.
Right.
Yes, of the books. And so it's just it's so fitting that that was raised. So thank you for that. And I think our list is definitely growing, y'all. It's growing. So Dave, we saw your hand up too.
Yes, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I didn't mention, since we're in a bit of an artist pool, and yes, I'm working or trying to get through the middle of my submission to becoming an author, sidetracked along the way. It has a screenplay vibes to it as well. So I'm just glad to be among the quiet elites that I didn't even know was in my pool of resource. Did anybody? I know you said it's not religious, or we're trying to not to have the overtone, but it's completely here. Did anybody pray us in?
So we did an affirmation in.
Right.
Okay, so that's because I came
we
in kind of
opened the
late.
way.
Right.
Cool, cool. So I'll pray for y'all in my heart spirit, but I feel the need, especially with more people here, because here's the thing. I believe in situations like this, but it takes a lot of nerve, one, to bring yourself to actually humble down and sit and take it in, because we've tried so many different things, and it's such an array. There's so many avenues of, okay, I'll help you here. You will talk to somebody on Facebook or whatever the case, and I'm going to the left, but it's to come back to the right. So if y'all will indulge me, I just want to talk to y'all for a minute.
Absolutely.
Just a little leg of the journey. So I'm doing right now what T and James used to do a long time ago. I used to work for Time Warner, and now I work for Spectrum here in NC. And I left my career of 25 years in banking. It was just time. Everything just kind of came to a head. And I'm just finding myself displaced, but also completely placed at the same time. I'm having a lot of dualities. And I don't know if you guys, dichotomies, I don't know if you guys have this, but God doesn't talk to me in regular ways. So, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll put I don't know, he'll put my glasses on the left side of my dashboard, and that'll take me down a realm of thought that takes me to this avenue of, all right, now I got you where I wanted you. And it's always like that. I have so many, examples of that. But what I wanted to share is that I do what they did at one point in a call center, and I'm enjoying it for a couple of reasons. One, we have to recharge. As young Black African Americans, we have to, because again, Generation X, our parents raised us super strict and everything like that, but we got kind of blessed with the educational portion. So now we got our kids living off the surplus. So that's why they're so spoiled. Would we all agree with that? Like, it started getting to us, but it started getting down to our kids. But every now and then we have to reflect and just take a step back and just look, right? And so I find myself in this position all the time. I'm talking to folks, and we are in trouble, first of all. You can't live without your internet. You think people are crazy about the Second Amendment with their guns? I live in a carry state. We all got GATs now. But Americans in particular, white folk in particular, you take their internet from them. They literally are they get, let me tell you something, and I can tell from your vernacular, you one of them. Get me my internet service. I'm a tech, so I gotta help them, get my service running and da 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 da. And they talk to you crazy, right? Now, T and James will attest to, boom, you gotta always be nice to these people no matter what. So that it kind of reflects to the beacon of light that we have to be in our walk in our journey. We can't have those days where, hey, no, you ain't talking to me crazy ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man just like tripping on some internet. Sit your if I make change, right? But then there's this wonderful byproduct that comes from what I do, and it happens at least once a week. Somebody will call me and it'll be like 9:05, 11:15, whatever the case. I'm walking out the door at 11. My last call, next thing you know, they're talking to me and we're praying for each other. Me in particular, praying for them on an internet tech line. And I'm, as I mentioned in the beginning, displaced, but was I? You know what I'm saying? And the learning is not just from the lesson that you learned, but it's also in the journey, and you have to be fluid to receive that because a lot of people think literally, and okay, we got to do this next. No, we're octopi. We have arms. We have tentacles. Like I know you, especially Tanasia, and I. By the way, is that my man? Oh, is that my man AJ in here? What's up, bro? He's mad quiet. You don't talk that way in the basketball court. Cut it out. We are occupied. We're connected in so many ways, and so like you haven't been in the car. You date with your girl, whatever the case is. She's putting on the makeup, driving with a knee, and doing this and watching the baby. But it's bugged out. But that's how I'm learning even more and more. I say that's enough, God, and he's like, not quite. I built you different, bruh. And so little about me. Just recently, in the middle of my divorce, I stopped taking my not my heart medicine, but my high blood pressure medicine. So a week before Christmas, I'm in the hospital, 7 days. Like, oh, the doctor's like, yo, you lost 20% of your heart, your strength. And so, we're not going to talk about the whys, but let's just say when you're depressed, which a lot of people don't know that they are, and I'm sure that you guys are going to talk about mental health. It's all interconnected. Even in that time, and I said I had been feeling it for a long time. I said, "Yo, God, man, I'm done, man. Take me home. Like I'm finished. I got kids. I got this." And even though I've been walking around feeling this way for years, still finding purpose or being annoyed that you feel worthless, but you feel the purpose at the same time. What do you do when you're dealing with that kind of ish? You know what I'm saying? How do you? And then you try to maintain a relationship. You try to walk the walk with our God that we know is in our heart, but sometimes we just sit down and talk to me. To me. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm leading to is that a group like this and assignment that you guys are embarking on, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And you're going to find yourself being relied upon. That's a really, really big, big, big responsibility. And you never know what people are, or what's going on their side of the phone. You know what I'm saying? And just I'm happy and I'm pleased that you guys have been anointed and commissioned and are bold enough to take on this journey because real talk, Jay reached out to me and I was a couple of days from just I'm done, like done. I was dealing with that low in my spirit, but I keep having these conflicts. Like why he keeps reaching out to me like through a person like Jay or my cousin, my brother, or giving me these opportunities to on the spot just pray for somebody. I feel broken. Little do I know people are watching and I'm finding favor this way and that way. But I just want to share how great you are wonderfully made. And all of these resources between all of us together, just think about how many hands are here. But now think about all of the invisible hands and how many people just this group alone can touch. It's incredible. And I pulled up one scripture that I just wanted to share because you guys keep mentioning community. And I think it falls in line because it falls right out, Matthew 18 and 20, uh, uh, for where there are two or three gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. You know what I'm saying? He's been here. You know what I'm saying? Even in your ideas, he's been trying to form. What's up, AJ? You know, you've been trying to formulate ideas. Guess what? You're not trying to formulate an idea. You're trying to formulate a movement that's going to save souls and eventually pull somebody out of whatever they're going through. And you know what? It's a part of the process, and we have to be diligent. You know, even when it's like, yo, F you, God. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude. I said it. And I really immediately realized my own mortality. I walked around for like a week and I was just like, yo, God, on this date, this is what I'm getting ready to do. And I don't think that he left, but he let me look over the edge and feel the breeze that almost pushed me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I was just playing God. I was just, it's greater than, and sometimes as a father, he has to show us, and as children, we have to be the example. So I just felt like sharing that idea to y'all. I hope that meant something. That's my time. Have you be blessed.
No, it definitely did. It definitely did. And it hit my spirit to know that you were in that state, you know. I'm so happy that the transition has happened between that space you were in to the space that you're in today, here with us and sharing in this way. Um, Grateful for that, Dave. Grateful. You have always been a part of our community. You know that, you know, for James and I. So it warms my spirit to even hear you say, and it's making me emotional, right? You know, to know that in the midst of that, even if you and James may not speak on a daily basis, that call was made, you know, that he followed the call in his spirit to reach
And
out.
he wouldn't let me go. Like he kept texting me. He just kept coming. And I'm like, dude, you know I can't talk on the phone. They see me on the phone, like, hey, what you do? Like, but also,
Hey, hey,
coincidentally,
Dave,
360, yo, but you're in the car. What y'all doing,
brother,
man? Y'all play this technology thing
I,
too serious, man.
Life is life, and he had to go pick up
Yo,
T.
like,
life, life is life, and life is life, and. But brother Dave, you know, it's only through the divine power that things happen that way because, like I told you, honestly, and just to be transparent, and I think thank you for sharing and being honest and transparent. I apologize to you because I wasn't connected to you the way I should have been, and throughout your journey of what you was going through, I should have been there the whole time because we are community, we are brothers, and it was in my spirit, that the Most High said, reach out to Brother Dave, and I didn't know what you was going through, but I knew in my spirit it said, call Brother Dave and connect with him, and like I told you that night, I thank you for being transparent. I thank you for being my brother. I love you, bro, and you know that. And
you back,
I'm
man.
thankful today, and I'm so thankful today that you are here in this space and you are where you're supposed to be. You're
With
exactly
purpose
where you're
and
supposed to
calling.
be.
It's time that I start admitting it too, with purpose and calling. My story has to be heard. And I'm to the point where I just think that I just been in the oven. I've been worried. I've been nervous. I've been pacing back and forth. It's like waiting for a new baby. But, things happen for a reason. And I might not understand the purpose. And I'm trying my best to be humble and acknowledge that. But it's hard. And for anybody to act like it's not, you're playing yourself. You know what I'm saying? The strongest of men are taken down by this life and crap. Thank you.
No. Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to extend this open invitation, and I appreciate that you brought this up too, Dave, because if you feel moved and called to pray in the midst of our call as a collective, at any point, it is fine to do that, It's not that we're saying anybody needs to subscribe to any, specific religions, but we all need to be able to show up in the fullness of who we are, and to do what our spirit is calling us to do. So the container in terms of the book study is about spirituality, but if you feel, called to pray for us, by all means, thank you for that. Thank you. And Trey and Sha, I see your hands are up.
Dre actually stepped away, but I was just gonna speak to what you just came back to, the prayer, and this Dave even stopping to pray with people on the phone, as I have come from call center community as well. So I know how tough the calls can be and also how wonderful some of them and pleasant some people can be. But on the other end of that, today actually, I decided to read The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success.
Mm.
And again, another short read, but within that book, there is law 2, which is the law of giving and receiving. And within that law is basically you give a gift to everyone that you encounter. And it says, give a gift to everyone you encounter, be it a compliment, a flower, or a prayer. This will begin the process of circulating joy and affluence in your life and in the lives of others. Gratefully receive in every gift that life offers you. Be open to receiving, whether it be a material gift from others, a compliment, or a prayer. But silently wish everyone you encounter happiness, joy, and laughter. By giving and receiving the gifts of caring, affection, appreciation, and love, you will keep wealth circulating in your life.
Mm. Right on time. Do y'all see how spirit is moving in here? Right on time. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that, Sha. Thank you for sharing that. And if you don't mind dropping also the 7 spiritual laws of success also into the chat for those who are capturing this list, right? And I think we'll definitely share it. It's another one of my faves. It's actually such a short read that it's recommended that you read it once a day, once a day. So definitely encourage you to check it out. And Sha, thank you for referencing that. And we're already seeing right now, right, all the affirmation and confirmation showing up about what we're doing, right, in terms of building this community. So, and I see Tosh jumped in the chat to say, very good book. Yes, because I know, Tosh, you read it too. And it just breaks things down in such a practical way, right? We don't need a lot of sugar. We don't need a lot of flowers around the messaging. It's definitely a recommendation of mine too. Thanks, Sha. And AJ, Amadi, I see your hand is up.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, bro.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hello to everyone. How's everybody doing? Just wanted to jump in real quick and thank you and James, of course, for this platform, for this community that's being created and cultivated. Um, I'm looking to get so much from this that surprisingly, like Dave said, and Dave, we definitely got to get together and connect because you've kind of been on my spirit in the past. And just recently, when you got back on, before you even started talking about things that you have been going through, something inside of me was like, I need to reach out to him. And I've been going through things as similar as you as well. So that just shows how strong this community is going to be because already I can see a connection and what me and Dave need to get on to just we connected back in the day on the basketball court and obviously there's things here now that we need to connect on and I'm gonna be quiet because usually I am the talkative one, but I noticed that the change in me that I want to see is to not be the person that knows it all or coming into the room feeling like the person that knows it all. There's apparently a lot of um, information that people have here in this group that has been edified, that has worked, that has produced miracles, and I'm humbled. I just want to sit back. I want to take in and I want to see what God is going to pour out for me from this and this platform. So if I come across a little bit different than what everybody who does know me as, and that's you know the reason why. It's because I'm really in on this one, and I'm really taking this serious. And part of that is me changing who I am known to be, or my makeup, and breaking that down and building it back up. And I'm happy that I have this group of people that are looking to do the same. And this is going to be all hands off, and
we're going to be holding each other accountable, and we're going to be crying and laughing, then I see the spirit in this, and I'm looking forward to it so much.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. And
Thank
it's
you
so
for that, brother AJ. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. We're so
You
grateful to
guys,
have you on the journey with us. You know, you have also always been a part of our community. It's so funny because it just feels like a full circle moment, you know, connecting with all of you. And it already feels like home in this space. And so many of the words you just used, AJ, to describe, you know, what's happening here already. It's exactly how it feels to me. So thanks for providing the language, you know, to really express that. Thank you. And I see
I
my
love it. I feel you feel the spirit. I feel the spirit, and that's what brother AJ said is when he said feeling like the spirit and feeling what's happening in the room. Like it's amazing. It's one call, and you can already feel the magic that's going to happen on the journey through this one call already. It's
exactly.
amazing.
hey, thank you. Just real quick, I just wanted to say something. Jump right back off. I promise. I was having a conversation with my father, my stepfather. He's in the hospital right now, going through something. But thanks be to God, he's gonna be okay. And but we were talking about the flesh and the spirit, and he was breaking down to me, and we was kind of actually revealing things to each other. But the premise of it was that when our existence we lost from the beginning the connection in the spirit. It's in our body, but we lost it. And then because our flesh is so strong, we have all these distractions in the world that eat away or gravitate towards our flesh, that we lose that pure connection to the spirit that we originally had. And this group Tanasia that and James that you guys have, this is what is going to renounce and rebirth that spirit that we once had that we was connected to make it overpower the flesh that unfortunately sometimes comes in and control. So I just want to jump out with that, and you guys can go ahead and go forward.
That was a word. Thank you for that. Wow. Powerful. Powerful. And I see Jah Gracious commenting on that to say, Ashe and transmitting love and light to your stepfather, as we all are, AJ. Thank you for that, Jah. And my sis Megan is on. Megan, your hand is up.
Yes. Hi, greetings, everyone. I feel like joining this community is necessary for me to introduce myself to the community. I was sitting back to observe for a minute, and kind of gather my thoughts because so many gems have been dropped. I feel like my pen has been on fire for all the things that I've been writing down. But to start with Jai's beautiful way of introducing oneself, I would say that I am love and I am loved. I am a peacemaker. I am a quiet storm of energy, ideas, thoughts, feelings, but also nurturing and offering that calm to those around me. I'm an airbender, and oh, I'm here. So, um, if I go into the day to day, I work as a customer experience strategist. So I look at the problems and offer solutions for our customers, both internal and external, at a health insurance company. I'm a podcaster, a writer, and breathwork facilitator. But I'm excited to be in this space.
Yeah.
I am so excited. I feel like the newbie because I almost for a second felt like an outsider because I was like, oh my gosh, everybody knows each other already. Like, who am I to be here? And I was like, well, I'm here though. Like, I'm supposed to be, clearly. I had the book, I hadn't popped it open yet. And this opportunity to join a community and go through the book and have a feminine and masculine dialogue was like everything I wanted. So I'm so grateful for each and every one of you being here. I'm grateful to myself for showing up for myself in this way, because I know that in this season of singleness, I am taking these gems and improving upon myself. And in this moment, if I consider myself to be a lighthouse, my light is shining, but everything that I'm gathering through this experience and as I grow is going to make my light shine brighter. So whoever my divine masculine is, he's going to be able to see that. But not only that, the things that I'm learning are going to help me have better discernment so that I'm not just welcoming anybody to my shore, but I'll be able to see who that person is. Yes, David. Yes, that energy.
Right.
Yes, but I'll be able to welcome my divine masculine to the shore. But as Ja mentioned earlier, being able to connect those two, feminine and masculine, within myself is my first priority, because I have to take care of me before I can offer myself to someone else in joint partnership. So I'm excited. I'm hyped for this. Thank you both so much, Tanasia and James. It was a pleasure to meet y'all last year at the Sister Circle. And I'm just so stars aligned always.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for journeying with us, sis. And you know, it's something you said too. And I feel like we say it so often, right? It's like, you know, we want to work on ourselves before we engage in relationships. And sometimes that's like a polarizing discussion, because sometimes people believe, right, you need to be in the relationship and show each other parts of each other in order to grow, right? And then others say, well, maybe I need to grow, you know, independently first. And I definitely feel like we have witnessed the benefit of both. And when you just said that, it just sparked the thought for me, because I think, and a lot of us know maybe a little bit about law of attraction, right? Long book with a lot of different layers to it, but really the long and short of it is that if we focus on what we want, then what we want will find us, right? And so that's essentially the law of attraction. And in order to know what we want, we do need to really be clear on the why, you know, and sometimes, right, if we've had traumatic experiences, painful experiences, what we think we want, when we get to the root of the why, it may be just to put a band-aid on a trauma that we really need to heal. And I say that to say, right, if we're still working through layers of trauma, pain, if there's still lots of healing that needs to be done, I agree with you, Sis. A lot of times we need to focus on that first, because then you get really clear about what you want, who you want, and why. And then that's when you can really attract a person, you know, or experience or whatever that is at that frequency, you know, rather than seeking to attract someone at the frequency you're currently at, where you're still feeling like, you know, you're very much, we're always a work in progress, but you're feeling like you've got a lot more work, you know what I mean, to progress first. Like I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. So yeah, you just bringing that up, it just sparked that thought, and thank you for sharing. And we're happy to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Happy to see you. Always love your energy. And I see Brother Seven is on.
Brother Seven.
Brother Seven, is your hands up? Would you like to share? Feel free to go ahead and speak into the call. There he is.
Salute. There he is, Brother Seven. What's up, brother?
I was trying to have it unmuted because I was making sure that I was definitely listening, and I just hopped on. I just want to how can I put this? I just want to say thank you. Like this is beyond beautiful. I know that we all are truly on a path to self-righteousness, and when it comes to our ascension, this is the space that we all ask for. We all have been yearning for community on a different frequency. We all have been yearning for connection, whether that be with self, whether that be with a sacred woman, or whether that be with, the divine masculine. It's something that we all have been yearning for. So I just want to say, I am echoing everything that everyone said on this call when it comes to just giving thanks and praise for y'all being able to not only be the way, but arrange for us the way. May we renew ourselves, may we become strong. And the ancestors reply, the sacred women reply, the way has been arranged. You're already strong, and we are here. So I'm just giving thanks and praise for us doing this work, us being able to show up for not only for ourselves, but for our other versions of ourselves, our past selves, our present selves, our future selves. This is gonna be beautiful. I'm excited. I got a million and one ideas, and I'm ready. I'm totally ready. I've been telling people about it. I'm pretty sure as the weeks go on, we'll probably be having new people come in on both sides, men and women. It's beautiful. Like this is like a dream come true, being able to have both energies at the same time going through the process and then being able to conversate about the process. It's undescribable. It's just being able to be thankful for it. So I'm just, I'm going to keep channeling. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and gratitude for the wellness warriors on this call, gratitude to the alumni on this call, gratitude to the sacred women on the call, gratitude to future sacred women and sacred divine masculine and wellness warriors on this call. This is going to be amazing. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And my name is Seven. I am alumni of the Wellness Warrior chapter number 5, the fist, the who.
That's right.
Yeah, yep. I'll get into, I guess, who I am as we get into weeks. I won't go into a whole story because I can be on here for all day talking. So just want to say thank y'all, and I'm here. Can't wait. I'm excited. And are we gonna have a schedule when it comes to every Sunday hopping on a call and things that nature?
Yes.
And then
Right. Go ahead.
and then what about my favorite part, the physical meetup? So I know that y'all supposed to
It's
be
coming.
it's
That's
coming.
coming. That's
Okay,
coming.
so
We got to do the physical. It's coming. It's coming. We got to do the
so
physical.
so so I have been talking to some of the sacred women. I believe one. I forget her name. Please don't kill me. But Crystal, we've been talking about the sacred women coming down for February 23rd, the healing concert. So I'm excited about that. Are you coming down, Pope?
We there. We there. We
All
are
right,
there.
I'm gonna hold you to that. You heard what he said. We got witnesses on the
Absolutely. We
phone.
there.
Ruly, you heard what he said, Ruly. He said he coming down. We gonna hold him to that.
That's it. That's it.
We
Listen,
coming, bro. We coming.
that's
All
it.
right.
We rolling. We rolling. But let me just say really quick, because in the beginning there was some introductions, but for the Seven, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom and letting us touch a frequency. I just want to say really quick, there's a lot of powerful energies on this call, and I want to run through every one of them, and we're gonna get to speak and hear each one of them. Brother Seven, I gotta just say it on the call that I salute you, because this brother's doing so much in his community that I have to say it. If you ever go to his Instagram, and I know you can say your Instagram or put it in the chat or something, Seven, the work that you do with the young, the older, the elders, it has to be said, because you're consistent. You are making an impact, and it's something that needs to be shared. And you inspire me to say the same way that everybody says, hey, you know what, we inspire others. All of you guys inspire us.
Yeah.
Brother Seven, you inspire me. Brother Ruli, all the sisters inspire me. I hear it through my queen all the time about the work y'all are doing. Brother Dave, you already know from back in the day, Brother Dave, you've always inspired me for the man that you was, connected to God, your sermons, all of it. Brother AJ, even though I can't get used to saying AJ because I say Amadi, but I'm gonna get used to AJ because that's what your name is. So Brother AJ, he's always inspired me, again, for the work that you do with God and the connection that you have. There's so many people on this call that inspire us. And I just can't wait for all the energy to come out, for people to see just who people are. Because you guys are, everybody, your sisters and the kings on this call are so powerful and all doing work. And collectively, I can only imagine what we're gonna do as we build this community.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, yeah. And oh my goodness. So even what you just saying that, babe, I'm thinking about the idea that we should be dropping our information into our chat. So we all are in that same chat, right? So feel free to put your Instagrams, you know, your information in on how to contact you into the chat, because we are building community on all facets, right? So we're gonna be in lockstep with this book study that we're doing, and we're gonna be getting to know each other a lot better. And who better to support each other than the people who really know each other? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think we can be really intentional in that space too about showing up to support the different things that we have going on. And I just wanted to say, because since Megan mentioned this too, I think James and I probably know most of the folks that are on tonight, right? On with us today. But we don't all necessarily know each other yet, but we're gonna be getting there, because we're gonna be learning a lot about each other. You know what I mean? And pulling off the mask, right? And I say that to say, you know, at the end of the day, I think it would be very fitting for us to, at the end, at some point, get together in person, you know, so that we can commune and fellowship and just kind of bring the fun on the back end of the healing. You know, so we'll definitely look into that more deeply too. But I say also that to say that because we're so familiar with so many of you, we know the amazing work you're doing. Whether you came on camera today or not, whether you dropped a note in the chat or not, whether, you know, whatever it is, if you just like, all right, I'm here to get the information and feel my way in, that is totally fine. But we know most people in this call, and it's amazing. It's amazing, you know, to have you all together. Like we don't have these you know, I don't have a million subscribers or anywhere. James doesn't have a million subscribers or anywhere. So if we put out a call to action and this is who it touched, this is amazing. Like, this is amazing. If we put out a call of action and you all are the people who it touched and brought you into this space on this Sunday, it definitely means that we are already destined for greatness in it. So
absolutely.
Collectively. So we're going to be supporting each other. And Seven, thanks for joining us. Glad you were able to make it on. And I see we have some more hands. So Ja, is your hand still up from before, or is it up again?
I always forget to put it down.
Oh, look, I was hoping that it was up again. Look,
I thought it was gonna be something again, illuminating us.
Well, you know, the spirit always has something to say if you are connected and in tune. And there was one thing that I wanted to add, so might as well. James had said the word should. I'm an etymologist. And
not to cut into your wisdom. Can we see your face, goddess? Can we see
Oh,
faces?
yes, of course.
Where everybody's faces at? Where everybody's faces at?
Can y'all see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was
Beautiful.
cooking.
Yes.
I was cooking. But yeah, so I was saying that I'm an etymologist, and I'm also the embodiment of unconditional grace. And I think about how words make me feel. And the word should makes you feel like you are judging what you did in the past. And so instead of saying should, say could. Say I could have did this versus I should have. It makes you feel completely different.
Yes.
And then when you are talking about what you could have did, say, in the future, I will do this, or in the present, I will do this. Versus living in the past, because it's already over. And so we can't change what we have did, but we can make sure that we implement those things in the present and in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that so much.
Thank you. Yes.
I love that so much.
I received that, sister. Thank you very much.
It's an honor.
My goodness. Kings and queens, we are going to be diving into exactly what Ja just introduced, really, through both Man Heal Thyself and the Sacred Woman Journey. There's a lot of text that we're going to be going through that's very specifically about what we refer to as Tahuti, right? The god of Tahuti, or the essence of Tahuti, and how that actually shows up in our communication and our language. We talked a little bit about what it means to affirm ourselves and to speak positive words beyond just it being like the words, right? And actually embodying it. And Ja, you being the empath that you are, you felt it immediately, like that word. Wait a minute, and it becomes that clear, right? With practice, you start to really realize how certain words actually trigger an emotion, how certain words can shift the sentiment for you. And the good news is that we're going to be studying that. So I know that we are bringing this in at this point, right? And we're going to bring it home. But I wanted to share that in Man Heal Thyself, there are chapters they refer to as Arits. The chapters are referred to as Arits. And then in Sacred Woman, the chapters are gateways. And we're going to be focusing on each one for a complete week. So it just means that, we'll have the text, the page numbers will be going into the chat of what we're reading, and any insights, just like we're building here right now, any insights that come up, questions, any experiences that come up for you during that time will be in and out of the chat, just kind of continue in the same spirit of community that we're building here. And anything else to add to that?
No, I know that with the brothers, we did speak about when we go through the REITs that we want to spend 2 weeks on an REIT to try to dive deeper down into it. So I know we're going to be doing that. And that will be on calls. I believe we're going to we'll talk again, but I believe it's going to still be on the Tuesday nights for the brothers to do their calls. But yeah, 2 weeks I think we're doing for the REIT.
Okay. So those details will be going into the chat this evening. And are there any other questions like around, the cadence of what we're doing, or any questions at all?
I do have a question.
Okay.
Sure.
You
I'm
first.
sorry, I don't. Oh, thank you so much. So in terms of notes from the chat, will they be accessible after the call ends?
Because I recorded, right? Because we recorded, it will show in the chat, so we can actually copy them and drop them in. So if you're looking for like the resources and the books and all that, I can go in and grab those, yes, and drop them into our chat. And that was a great call out. I'm gonna go ahead and make a note to do that.
Give thanks.
And I wanted to submit a request real quick, or consideration. If you guys are the men are meeting on Tuesdays, maybe alternate other days, like a Monday. Like I only get 1 day off during the week. Sunday and Monday is my days, so I'm locked in. So I would love to listen to it, like the young lady had mentioned prior to, but being a part of it that's something totally different. So you know what I mean?
So Brother Dave, thank you for saying that. We'll come together collectively and we'll talk about what is the best night where maybe everybody can be on together.
Yeah.
We can put a poll in the chat. Yep. Thank you for that. Yep. Any other questions? So if you haven't already got your books, you have between now and next Sunday to get your books, right?
I think my next question is I might have already asked it, but I'll ask again. Are we going to with our reading, Brother Pope, are we going to have a schedule that mirrors the Sacred Women, so that when we get on a call, we're kind of having the same conversation around, like, they got gateways and they got our REITs?
Yes, that's what we're looking to be aligned in how we do it, so that yes.
Okay.
We will.
When are we going to stamp it? Are we starting this week? Are we starting this Tuesday or the following Tuesday?
So what we can do is in the group chat or something, we can come together to see what's the best day.
Okay.
So all the brothers can get on the call together, because it will be more beneficial and valuable if we all can be on there live together.
Okay.
Once we establish the day, we'll make sure that the queens know also, and then we'll have a schedule of alignment for us to meet collectively.
Okay. And are we going to do Zoom? I know we've been doing IG. So are we gonna have a Zoom link for the men to be able to? I know that this is one. This is a call for everyone. But do you have a Zoom specifically for the men and the women? Like, or
Yes, I'll create one for the men as well, and then I'll send the
okay,
link out
Yeah.
okay, bet. That's gonna be powerful. Cool. Yep.
to Brother Seven.
It will be.
So I mean, if the men are on here now, we can ask the men now. I mean, I know we picked Tuesday. Is it another day that works for everybody?
I know Brother Dave was just saying Mondays is the better day for him.
Okay.
Due to
I
his
don't
work.
mind. I don't mind Monday. I don't mind it. Whatever day. I make my schedule. So we're gonna try to meet at night. And is it talking about the book and doing the homework, or is it reading it together? Like how is that?
Oh, so we'll get to it again in our calls, but yeah, Brother Seven, we want to go through it like kind of where we talked about it before, where we're going to read through the book again together.
Okay.
You can read it on your own as well, but we want the same way we went through it when we went through the program is
Okay.
I'd love for somebody as we're reading it for us to take even paragraphs and give our interpretations of what we felt from the paragraph in the same way we did before. Um, if somebody's not okay with reading out loud or any of
Okay.
that, fine. You don't have to. But for the brothers that are okay with reading the paragraph and giving their interpretation, because I look forward to Brother Ruley, Brother Carl, everybody's interpretation of what the paragraph meant to them and what they got out of it. So I definitely want to do something like that.
Yeah. And for the sisters, for the queens, what we're going to be doing is we're not going to necessarily read it together during our calls because the text is rather lengthy for Sacred Woman, but it includes a few worksheets, and there are some items that are in there that require us to track our behaviors for a certain number of days, right? So ours will be of the cadence that we'll read and we'll all be in lockstep that this is the gateway we're covering this week. And then that discussion that we have will always follow the reading that we've we've gone over. So I would just say to highlight along the way if there are points that you really would like to discuss, to keep notes if something maybe occurred in your life that kind of showed up to be confirmation to something you read. And then when we meet, we'll discuss it. So our platform will be to discuss the text and our actual experiences, but not necessarily to read out loud because ours is very lengthy.
And Brother Seven, we can still talk about ours as well because it's what we make it, whatever we want it to be. Because we could, if we want to do the readings before we get on the call too, and just talk about what we got from it, we can do that as well. I would love for us to seed still the way we did when we went through the program. That's kind of an accountability for us to seed it and say what we've done throughout the week. But again, it's whatever we want from it is what we'll make it to be.
Yeah, it's with all journeying and grace. And so we are open to the insights of the collective, we're rolling with y'all are rolling with us, and we bend and flex as we see needed. And the other thing I wanted to say while we're talking about reading is show up even if you didn't read it. Be in the space, even if you didn't have the time that week to read, that's okay. That's okay. Because even if you're getting the cliff notes, we'll call them, right, from the experience of what's being shared during our collective, collaborative calls, just show up. Just show up. We don't want it to be a deterrent that because you feeling off track with the reading, that you're going to be off track with the discussion, because you won't be. You won't be. All things are in divine alignment and divine timing. And yeah, this is a journey together, no matter where we are in the journey. So,
And this is sidebar note. I don't know if I'm gonna say T, her Instagram name is Speak Your Life. Something Speak Your Life. I think her. I just want to say congratulations on all the work that you're doing. I'm on it. I'm going through Instagrams right now. So congratulations on all the work that you're doing. You're doing some amazing work. I just want to give you your flowers and say it's beautiful to watch you work. It's definitely beautiful. It's dope. I see it already on the bigger scale. So congratulations. And Miss Megan V, are you alumni of Lincoln? Congratulations. That's one of my favorite schools. I go to Lincoln often to go speak to some of the kids and do some work up there.
That's awesome.
Amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm on Instagrams already. I ain't playing no game. Your IG is
Right.
private though.
That is so awesome.
Nah.
Thank
I
you,
just wanted
sis.
to
I
jump
got
in and
you.
say I'm a Tuskegee University alumni.
Job.
Take it, Megan. Take your Instagram page off of private. Your page on private. I can't follow you.
No, I'm gonna accept you. And whoever follows will be accepted. It's fine.
It won't. My Instagram won't let me follow you though, because it's telling me that I got too many. I follow too many people, so it keep glitching. It won't let me follow people.
Got
I
it.
definitely want to see your work, Megan. If you got work on your page and stuff like that. But yeah, that's me. Sidebar note. My apologies.
No, I appreciate it. I
Yes.
appreciate it. And we encourage you to continue the conversations even in the chat.
In the chat, yes.
Yeah,
Please
like,
use the group chat to.
we're gonna
to
build
engage.
and support each other. That's what we're here to do.
Yes.
Building our relationships here first, you know what I mean? And then expanding outward. So with that said, we'll go on to our closing affirmation. And so our affirmation, feel free to unmute yourselves if you like to say it openly aloud with us, or you could say it, to yourself as well. But we'll get started. Okay. I am grateful for the insights gained. I carry the
I carry the
strength
strength of our
community
community with me.
I continue my
I
journey
continue my
of
journey
love
with
and
love
purpose
and purpose
until
until
we
we
meet
meet again
in
in
gratitude.
gratitude and growth. Okay.
Blessings, everyone. Thank you again for joining.
Yeah, thank you all for joining. The details we'll be hashing out through polls in chat tonight, this evening, what our days are going to be throughout the week. And we'll start meeting. I can't wait until we get back here again next Sunday. Like that's gonna be, it's already a magical experience. So
I'm excited for the physical meetup, so we get to see everybody.
Yes.
I know it's 3 major cities: Philadelphia, well, like 4: Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA, New York. Yeah, so I cannot wait for us to meet somewhere, whether it be dinner, whether it be brunch, whether it be, I don't know, it's to link up something.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Definitely.
We are gonna
Yeah.
make it happen.
Okay.
Okay. So
Peace and love.
thank you all, and we will see you. Well, we'll be talking this week, and we'll see you all again in this forum next Sunday.
Blessings.
Blessings.